You're listening to For Better and Worse with Jess and Rach.
What a project.
What a process.
What?
The podcast
heck?
studio could not be ready soon enough. Whenever that can happen.
Yeah, whenever that can happen.
I think we need drywall down there, potentially.
Something like that. But the basement will do.
Yeah.
You guys, hello.
Welcome.
Hello. You guys probably didn't know you heard my voice today.
Stranger danger.
Just stranger danger to my own podcast.
We're in the danger zone at the Cardelloni McAleese home.
Yeah, we're coming at you from Jess's new space.
Jess's new space. It took us about 5 minutes for my pregnant ass to find a position.
And she still doesn't look comfortable, which is making me uncomfortable.
I feel fine.
Okay.
I don't think at
And she's
30
in fucking jeans. I was like,
these are maternity jeans.
I guess I don't understand, but I'm like
they
no shot that you're still trying to look cute days before you give birth.
days. We are 38 weeks pregnant.
How crazy. There's a baby
gross.
in there.
She's full grown.
Yeah.
She's full grown. And guys, the sad news is I think she's askew. And we have to confirm next Friday, which anything can happen between now and next Friday when you're 38 weeks pregnant. So it'll be 39 weeks in 2 days when we do the ultrasound to see what position she's in. And I'm like, and if I go into labor before then?
They'll find out there. It'll be a last minute.
If she's always been a real low. She's always sat really low in my pelvis, and my pelvis has always really hurt. And I haven't been hurting as much lately, but I just feel her up in my ribs so much. And it took the medical assistant, whatever person that does the Doppler, it took her 2 whole minutes to find Elsie's heartbeat. But Elsie was kicking and moving around. We could see her. So I wasn't stressed, but I was like,
I'd be shitting my pants. Where is it?
Yeah, I mean, they were just she was kind of higher up here. So we don't know what's going on. We don't know what position she's in. She was in perfect position 36 weeks, but I felt a couple days ago, I've said to Josh for a couple days now, I'm like, I just have a feeling she's going to get breech, and I don't know why. I think because I do the math, and it's you think about all these things that need to go right in your pregnancy. It's you want a great labor, a quick labor, I want it to be unmedicated. I want to breastfeed. And it's but something's going to go wrong. Something has got to give. And I'm I wouldn't be surprised if I'm going to have a C-section because my baby's breech. That's how I don't know if anybody else thinks about life that way, but I'm hey, I want all these things to go right.
Yeah, you have to prepare.
But the math has never mathed for me. Math has never been in my favor that much in my life.
Yeah, I can relate.
And so something's going to fail.
Yeah. Well, I think you just have to prepare for whatever too. So you're just okay, well, what if,
Right.
And you just have to go down that road. Okay, play the whole scenario out.
But I guess if you're going to have to get a C-section, you'd rather be a planned C-section?
For absolutely than an emergency, because that's just drama.
Or even if it's not necessarily an emergency and just hey.
Sorry about it.
If you have to go through the full process of labor and dilation and all of that, for them to be the baby's not coming out this way, we're sending you to the OR. And you're just going to be so I get all the pain of going through a vaginal birth and then all the pain of a C-section. That sounds like a nightmare. So that's, if I could choose one journey to not have, it would be that.
I heard this story on TikTok, and it was a mom talking about her labor, and she was you hear about the embarrassing things, but no one prepared me for the baby came out, they put it on her chest. And she said, I just let out a 20-second fart.
Yeah.
I mean, no way am I just queefing.
Oh, if you get the epidural, you have no control down it. And what they don't tell you also about epidurals.
I get it. None of them care.
Right. But at that point, you don't care.
But do I care? Like, I will be like, I'm farting actively.
I mean,
and still going. If 20 seconds goes by, when the moment of like you put
Yeah.
the baby,
But
that is.
did you also know if you have to get an epidural or if you choose to get an epidural, they cath you.
Yeah.
You get a catheter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like at that point you don't care, but I'm like, and I'm around catheters a lot, not to brag, because of my dad's life and his situation. No part of me wants a cat. Like, that is the main reason that I do not want to get an epidural. I do not want to be cathetered.
Yeah.
And there are people being like, you okay? I don't want it. Because I don't want it.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that you're just like, fuck it. You know, at some point you're absolutely like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah. But I'm truly like manifesting a like, I've like romanticized birth, I think, a little bit because I just want it to be so cool.
I think it is from what I hear.
I think it is really cool. And I mean, I've been sipping a little bit of Kool-Aid, which I never like to do. But on this like hypnobirthing, stuff. And I hate sipping Kool-Aid because I was a part of a religious cult for
You
quite a
have
while.
a tendency
So I don't
to go down that road.
I always approach with caution any belief system, anything that's like, this is the way.
Because you're like, oh, I
but
might
also,
slip in.
You
can dabble.
Right. I mean, I think there's truth to all things. Like something I said to my doula is like, a hot topic in birthing is like when you get to the hospital, they want to put an IV in you. And if not an IV, they want to put a hep lock on you, which is like basically the port to get an IV.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need fluids, if you need, Pitocin, if you need anything. The hot top is you can refuse that. And because I don't want to have to take Pitocin. I'm not going into it wanting to have any interventions. And so my doula, who's very pro-medicine, but she's like, you shouldn't need an IV. She's like, you can go in and ask not to. And I was like, we're going to go in and we're going to ask the nurses where their comfort level is. Because it's like, they've seen shit and they've been scarred by shit.
Yeah.
That it's like, although I have this vision of like wanting like a pretty, like a free organic birth, like I want to be able to go anywhere. I'm like, a hep lock, like an IV that's just like in my, like that's not going to make or break my birthing experience.
Right.
But it could give them extra stress.
Yeah. What's the harm in getting it? Not being able to move around?
It's just like you just have that needle. Like, have you ever had an IV?
Not that I can remember.
Okay. So like they put it like here or in your hand and you just, when you move, you can feel the needle in you. But I had it when we were in the hospital over Christmas after the accident. And it was fine. Like it's not great.
Yeah.
And also because I'm on both sides of TikTok. I'm on Nurses Talk and I'm on Natural Birth Talk, man.
Okay. And
the nurses are like, it's way harder to IV you when you like have lost any blood. Yeah. She's like, and I was like, that's true. So we opted for the hep lock in the end. I'm like, I'm just going to fight. I'm just going to do it. But I don't want to be hooked up to like extra fluid bags. It's like, I can drink my own water. Thank you. Yeah. But it's just wild. It's wild just getting in that mental zone to like exit a human from your body.
Right. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like before like big games or anything, you like got to gear yourself up. Like, do you get that when you're like in the hospital?
No, I don't get,
but do you just get this like adrenaline rush where you're like, fuck yeah, ready to go?
Well, you hope that the adrenaline isn't fear related. You hope you can use your adrenaline to like, really hone in when you need it.
Tap into that womanhood.
Yeah.
Like my friend Liz said, it was like, she had like this spiritual experience during her second birth.
Hell yeah. And that's how it should be.
Yeah, manifest that.
We need more of that. Liz, come on and tell that story because it's truly, those are the stories we need to hear.
Yeah. And she, at the time, that one song, I Am Woman came out. I am fearless. And she's like, that was just my mantra. I had it on repeat. I'm like, wow, that sounds like everyone, like if you listen to her story, I think everyone would want to give birth.
If Liz would ever come on and just tell that full story, her whole life story,
Yeah.
I would pay money.
Yeah, we're working on
I'd
it.
get tickets.
Yeah, you guys will.
Her story is so
entertaining
and just inspiring.
Yes.
And also insane.
Insane. Yeah.
So maybe have Liz on while I'm off.
Yeah, we should. We definitely should if she's open to sharing. She texted. We were going through a group text today. She's like, "My brain is different."
Yeah,
and we're like,
some jaw-dropping moments in Liz's story.
Yeah,
love
Liz. If you're listening, you're Liz, on the pod.
Not to pressure you, but
yeah, we need you on.
We need you on for entertainment value. But yeah, here we are, back at it. Jess, it's nice to have you
back at it for now.
We've missed you.
Yeah, thank you, Rach, for taking over, for stepping in.
Hey, no better time.
And it was like a wild, uncertain moment for us in the pod. And when was that, a week or so ago?
Yeah.
And I've just been reading a lot of the messages that were really unprompted through DMs about how happy you guys are that we're back weekly when you guys listen to us. And I'm just like, wow. I don't know. It just is like really puts into perspective why we do this. And that feels so good. But I did want to address the Jess is going through it thing, because I know a lot of you guys are curious or just wanting to know that I'm okay. And I feel like it's important to address it, but in a way that I can. So here's what I want to say. This thing that I'm going through is everything in my life right now, which is why it's been very difficult to show up on the pod or show up in any other way in my life. So it's all that matters to me, and it's already changed my life in so many ways. So that sounds very big, but it's true. But the reality is that I'm still not ready to talk about it. And it's very difficult for me to personally value openness and transparency. And I know I fucking preach that on this podcast, but and just not being able to share it with you guys, because there is some beauty and healing in sharing as you're going through it. And I believe that, but yeah, I just need to share it with you guys in due time as my family navigates through it.
Right. Because it's not just your hurt and your journey.
Right.
It's affecting everyone all at once.
Right.
And it's constantly moving. Like, it's a family emergency, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's a family emergency. Like, Jess and Joe are okay, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
we're not. Yeah. I guess, like, if that's the big thing, I could definitely say that Joe and I are not getting a divorce, or no one has passed. So it's just something that we're actively going through, and just, it doesn't involve just me.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of people can relate, Jess, to like having a family emergency and it completely shifting everything. You know, like even when my grandma fell, like 2 summers ago, you know, Laura came home for a time. We were taking turns sleeping at my grandma's house. There are so many things that it's like when you're taking care of people and like loving people through their hurt and their stuff, that like it affects, you know, your sibling relationships, your relationships with your parents, your relationship with your grandparents. Like everything is suddenly shifting when an emergency happens. And you really find out like who you are in those moments. So you're also navigating this new side of yourself in an emergency. And a lot of the times when it comes to like, you know, people falling or getting sick or whatever it is, it's like a slow train wreck. So it's like you see it coming. And you're like, where do I go? What do I do? Who can I talk to? How do I stop this? But you know that like no matter what, we're going into the side of this mountain.
Yeah. And we're doing it together.
Yeah.
Which is really eye-opening for me and my family right now. I think my sister, we were all together. And she said, I've never felt more loved and safe within our family as I do right now. And that's exactly, I couldn't say that better. We are going through it together, and like know that I am okay. There's a lot of healing that's happening during this. There's a lot of growth, weirdly, that's happening. As I just talked to my therapist about it. So I'm in therapy, you know, I'm doing all this stuff. So like, I'm okay. I'm just, all of my attention and all of my life is going to this right now because it has to. So I hope that clears things up. And like I said, I do want to share this with you guys. And I know that, it could help others. And once I'm in a better place about it, I totally would be open to that. Yeah. So I just wanted to address it because I know it's like, what's going on with Jess? People just, maybe listeners or anybody, I know a lot of my close friends do know. So, and I just want to, people have reached out and I'm super appreciative of that. That means more than you know, but it's like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So, as much as I can be. So I just wanted to address that and not be super vague about it or try to be secretive because I just want you guys to know that I am going through this shitty time, but there's crazy, weird, good stuff happening during it. So we will be okay.
Yeah.
And this community is really important to me. And like I said, just looking back on just like DMs, they just like weirdly showed up during this past week. And I was just like, this is worth it. This is something that could get me through. And this podcast has been such a light for me and just something I look forward to. And I don't want that to stop. And
yeah, but we did have to like sit down and talk about like, after we'd already talked about, putting our foot on the gas and stuff. But we were like, we always want to feel like we're doing right by you guys. Like we always want to feel like we're not only relatable, but like in a space to relate, and it's like,
yes,
as I'm approaching, the newborn stage and all the hecticness that comes on with that. And while Jess is still navigating this stressful time, I'm like, are we in the place, And I think neither Jess or I have ever felt the need to come on here and be perfect. Like, people that have their shit together all the time. Well, but we didn't want to feel like we were coming on here at zero.
Right.
And so,
or for me being fake, I feel like it's kind of come to my attention that I've been like withdrawn or, just like not totally me on the podcast. And I felt that because this big thing in my life and I can't share it with you guys or I can't, tell you every detail, that wasn't true or that wasn't what we stand for. Mm-hmm. So like, that's why I feel like this conversation was so important to be like, if, I'll talk about how I'm feeling that way more or, if I can.
We can talk about hard things without talking about the hard thing.
In specific, right? Yeah. And that's what I want to do. And like, I feel like that's what we were talking about. Like, we're hitting the gas, we're going for it. And that's like, obviously life just took like crazy fucking turns. And it was like, okay, can we handle this and still be us and still be true and still be what we stand for? Mm-hmm. And I think we kind of decide, let's go. I mean, and we decided too,
like through all this stuff, like, going through hard shit together, even exciting stuff like parenthood, like those are the things that we want to grow. We want the community to grow with us through. And so we were like, it's either the time to stop or it's the time to like really take it seriously. And so we opted for the take it seriously, but we just had to have a moment the other day where we're like, let's really rethink this for a sec because, we don't want to be inconsistent. But in reality, guys, as we approach the next couple of months, while I'm planning on taking like, a couple weeks off, but who knows how I'll feel. And then, if shit comes up and we miss a Friday,
you guys know why. And, and I think that's important of just like letting you guys in a little more.
Yeah.
Instead of just inconsistencies and Jess is out and, all of this stuff. It's just like, you guys know, and we want you guys to know. And we are, very grateful for your support as much as you support us. So it's a win-win.
But we're glad you're back, Jess, because your sub this week was going to be
Josh.
Oh, no. Josh 2.0.
Yeah. Okay.
Josh's friend, Matt, a 24-year-old white guy. So I would hate to give another white guy a microphone just ever again.
I mean,
but if he comes on, he's very funny. So
I'm glad I'm back.
I'm glad you're back too. We don't want to give any more men their time to shine. Although Josh has been
not on this podcast, at least.
Josh has been enjoying our light viral TikTok that has happened.
Did it get viral?
50,000 views. 52,000, more than we've had in a long time.
Wow.
But
Are we making a comeback?
do you want to know why?
Why?
People hate Josh.
Your kid.
Should we go through a moment where we read hate comments from my husband?
People are dogging him.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's funny though, because people are gonna be like, "What? You should never."
Oh, and we're talking about like, so we're how last week Josh talked about the simple question: who sleeps closest to the door? And Josh, without missing the beats, says,
like, Rach, obviously.
Rachel does because I'm afraid of the door. And I was like, what are you? And then our friend Jerry made it into a TikTok for me because I'm bad at TikTok.
Did Jerry make it?
Jerry made it.
Because she thought it was so funny? Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And Jerry, you be helping us out left and right.
Sad as fuck. LMFAO. This is so fucking pathetic.
Oh my gosh. People are for real. Dogging him.
Girl, obviously his life wouldn't be meaningless without you because he's sleeping away from the door.
Oh my gosh.
I would literally never want to be married for a man who would use me as a human shield. I'm talking people.
People are dead ass. People are serious about this.
This would change the way I see my husband. Loss of respect and faith. Oh, wow.
Oh, what are these boomers?
I'm like, guys, would you rather have a person that was honest with themselves and with you about who would be more likely to fight off an intruder?
It's also
or do you want to take your man that's like, oh, I'll get my gun, babe. I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
I'll take a bullet for you, babe. But like leaves the skid stains in his underwear. Okay, like
Dude.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine with my little pussy boyfriend.
Yeah, but it's just like you have to know Josh to really understand that too. But
yeah, it's a hard no for me. He doesn't give two shits about you or anyone besides himself. I'm like, people really take a 30-second TikTok and go.
So can
go
you
to the moon
imagine what it's like being like an influencer?
No,
like
because this is funny to me. Like,
yeah,
there were no
but
points.
If you
like,
got it more than once on videos of people dogging your husband.
For a while, I was like commenting back, like, can you imagine how bad my first husband was?
That's funny.
Like, this was my upgrade. Come on.
Yeah, that is funny.
But also, I wanted to like do a TikTok of our bedroom because it's like, there really is no closer to the door.
No, I was going to say
our
it's like
bedroom,
you're a foot closer.
A foot, maybe.
Your bed, I mean, you're...
And also, I am certifiably more insane than he is. I would fight off an intruder better. That's just how it is.
And but why is it like, why can't the woman protect the men?
Right.
Like, what, you know what I'm saying?
I will hand you...
What if you felt more comfortable with physical altercations?
Which I probably am.
Yeah.
But Josh also, like, if we do hear a sound, he jumps out of bed and, like, scopes the area.
Yeah. Yeah, he's fine.
He's not a total...
Everyone relax.
He's not a total ninny.
Everyone needs to take it easy also, in 2023.
Do you ever say words and you're like, is that racist? Because I don't know. Like, what is ninny? Is ninny racist?
I don't know, but you better be careful with any... Like, what is it short for? What is it?
Right.
I
didn't want to say pansy because it seems a little,
Yeah, it could be controversial.
But I think I also did say pansy earlier, so who knows?
Sorry about it. It's like, that's the questions of this generation. Is it racist?
I know.
Am I hurting someone's feelings while saying this?
Right. Not knowing.
Right.
So if you have any...
But here's the thing. I'll say that if you feel that way and you say like, hey, I don't know if that was, I think you're safe. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously you said it without knowing.
Right.
So I feel like if you just covered up with, I'm not really sure if that was. If it was, let me know. Because you got to stay open.
If you guys have any information on the word ninny, let me know.
Yeah. We come to find out it's like the fucking worst.
And I've said it like 40 times.
You're going to be like, beep, beep. Whoops. Whatever.
But today we were going to do We're Not Really Strangers or those cards that we've done before, but I left them at home because I forgot and because my dog Barley was really making me mad because she wouldn't go into her space to be crated, but we just put them upstairs now. And she said no, and I had to leave and I forgot it, but they're Holsom. It's an app with different card decks.
Yeah. Wait, I have a story to tell.
I would love a story.
Yeah,
I was trying to segue into the meat, but I don't know.
But before we get into it, because I'm like,
absolutely,
I moved.
You did.
I'm just trying to think of stuff that's not related to my trauma right now.
We honestly probably don't even need content for this episode. We just go.
No, we need some questions. But I was thinking about, so we moved. Move-in day. I just want to tell you about move-in day a little bit and how it started. We did a little over-under with my sister and Joe. Like, over-under Joe as a freak out before the move. And we didn't say, like, move-in day, probably not. But we're like, definitely days before leading up. And he was in the clear, honest to God, just normal stressors, no big freak out, no hands through the hair. But we were kind of running smooth. So the morning comes, it's a little frantic. Anxiety is high, Everyone's showing up, everyone's coming over. So Joe is not comfortable driving this large U-Haul semi. So he asked his friend to come with him to go pick it up. So he goes, picks up the U-Haul, comes back, backs it in. Everything's fine. And now everybody shows up. We got a huge moving party. People are showing up right at 9 a.m. And I was very surprised by that. I mean, punctual people were here.
Wow.
And they're ready to get down. Like, where do we start? Just where do we go? And I'm like,
oh my God.
Yeah. And it was kind of confusing because Britt was moving in as we're moving out. So I'm like, this goes, this stays. But like, we got the majority of the goes stuff in one room so that it was easy. Little pickles here. So anyways, all of a sudden U-Haul's blowing Joe's phone up. I'm like, what the fuck is U-Haul calling me for? He steps outside. He comes back inside. I'm upstairs. The whole house goes silent. Joe goes, there's a fucking gun in the car. We're getting fucking arrested. I'm like,
who's getting arrested?
What? Joe, Joe
to
goes
100
straight to just jail time.
And like, Joe, you're the one that's responsible for putting people in jail. You know how it works.
And there's 2 cops there that are family members, but
it's like
Joe goes, so what happened was the previous renter of the U-Haul left their Louis Vuitton purse, a gun in the purse, and like a debit card right on the dashboard or something. And so
you'd think
you would remember
the Louis at least.
Right. So I think it came as like, okay, we found the Louis Vuitton, and then the U-Haul's like, hey, just be careful, there's a gun in there. And so Joe's just like, what? So he comes in ranting and raving about
Red
this.
hot.
Just, this could be stolen. I'm not going down for this. Lost it. Everyone else knows Joe, and no one's really like paying any mind to this.
Joe's really been ignored, and I don't think that has helped him in the long run.
Well, because everyone is trying to like just stay level-headed about it. Like his dad, who is a retired detective, is like, hey, you're good, dude. Just call the cops for the transfer if you feel it's necessary. Like, it's not yours. You're not responsible for it. You're returning it.
Joe's family and friends really thought, hey, we're going to speak logically to this kid for the rest of his life, and he's going to eventually pick it up.
Never did it work.
It didn't work.
And then at the same time, people just said, fuck it. People started packing boxes. No one's listening to Joe anymore because he's on the phone with the police.
He's a man ignored. He's on
the phone with the police. The U-Haul guy's on his way. And then someone's like, Jess, we have a Mayo situation. And I'm like, explain. And I'm like, what does that mean? And they're like, a bottle of Mayo exploded everywhere in the back of the truck. And I'm like, here's a bunch of towels and some paper towels and things you can clean it up with. I'm very sorry. I'm like,
that's when I get my dogs out. That's when I'd be like, get the Mayo
going on. And then all of a sudden the cops show up with the U-Haul guy. It's just a mess. I'm like, wow, this is how it's really starting off at 9:30 a.m. Really popping off strong. So the rest of the day was just high anxiety,
Yeah, they set him off, and
I mean, he kind of, actually, when we were leaving, he was freaking the fuck out about setting Britt's couch up. He's like, all this stuff you do for us, Jess, we can't even fucking set up your couch. Like, losing it, absolutely losing it. Britt's like, leave the couch, Joe. We have to get to your house. Like, I can handle the couch. I appreciate your guys' help getting it up here. That's all I needed. And he's trying to put it together, get the bolts together, getting his brothers in on it.
One thing at a time.
And I said, Britt, do you want the couch put together? Yes or no? And she said no. And I said, we need to leave. Let's go. It was just wild. So, I mean, starting off guns, Mayo, and, and Joe's anxiety. That was moving day for us.
Guns, Mayo, and Joe's anxiety.
Yeah, and that
There
was
it
moving
is.
day. I just needed to tell that story because it was just like, this is a fucking movie. But we made it here.
Successfully.
Yes, everyone was safe. Everyone made it. Long fucking day. I mean, honestly, all like tips and tricks. It's just it's just organized chaos.
Yeah.
You get the shit in. I'm writing thank you notes to everyone because everyone did like an A+ job.
Good.
Like, everyone was great.
And I gotta ask the pod, I'm gonna put up a poll on whether or not Jess was in her right mind when she ordered a white couch.
It's beige, bitch. It's beige.
With 2 huskies and a person that wants to be a mother someday.
Yeah.
So this seemingly will be the couch in which children will make themselves cozy on.
Yep.
This is the main level couch.
For now, yeah. Until it gets trashed.
I mean, granted, I'm not an active mother yet, but I don't know if you can train kids not to go on the sofas.
And putting this together was actually a bitch. And you know what? I'm going to put it out here publicly. Albany Park is not as easy as you advertise on your website.
Right.
And I'm just saying it because someone else posted a YouTube about it too. It's like, that's not what was advertised, sweetie. So Joe and I had a very hard time sweating our dicks off last night, putting this together, arguing, cursing up a storm. Another classic Macalee's Cardelloni fight, and I went upstairs. I got to take a minute, I'm like, I
got to take a minute, Joe.
Using my fucking tools, okay? And he wrote like a nice email to Albany Park, but
a nice, strongly worded email.
Yeah, which he CC'd me on, and I saw that he misspelled some things. I'm like, wow, that's the worst. Leaving out words and stuff. You can't be mad and illiterate. Like, you have to sound like
be mad and sound dumb.
No, you can't because you look mad dumb. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we have a half put together couch that we're sitting on. But
I mean, it's beautiful.
I think aesthetically it was exactly what I wanted.
But it also comes in so many different colors.
Quality is high. Do you agree? Do you feel like?
I mean, we haven't been able to put it all together. So
quality, as far as like, I guess it's a little crunchy, right?
Jess, I know your cleaning issues. And
they've gotten better due to life lately.
You have been.
There were dishes in the sink when you came over yesterday, and I was like,
didn't notice. No part of me noticed that.
I know.
I didn't clock it. I didn't think of it. I didn't notice it. I didn't look at it.
Rach was here for the delivery of this godforsaken couch.
I did have to receive this couch, and I almost wanted to be like, boys, pack it away. This was a dumb idea.
She wanted olive green anyways.
Yeah. She needs olive green. Take it back.
Oh my gosh. That was... Thank you for that. I called Rachel 8:30 a.m.
I said, hello?
She's like, I'm like, are you asleep? She's like, no.
No, good.
And she came to the rescue because this couch was
needed to be received and you couldn't be here for it.
Right.
People that move up delivery windows, jail.
Jail.
I planned my day and I made appointments.
It said 12:30 and 1:30 and I said, great, I can make that. And then they did come earlier, so I'm glad you were here.
I was here.
Yeah.
I was here. But I will be putting up a poll on whether or not people think you should take advantage of the 30-day returns.
Yeah, let me know, guys.
Which you might have to if you can't get this fucking other side put together on anyway.
True. It's nice, though.
Yeah.
But I would like to know, return it or keep it. I have a 30-day window.
There are other colors. It's not the couch or the quality of the couch. It's the color of the couch for me.
Okay.
And I'm like, I know Jess, and in a couple years, if you have a toddler, I know they're Sticky Hands McGee.
Right.
And you're not going to dig it. Because you're not the kind of person that can have a stained couch.
No.
Like, I would just be like, eh.
And here's also something I didn't think through is like white walls and the beige couch.
And also the cream carpet.
Yeah, I was going for this, I guess the name on Pinterest is like Japandi style decor.
Japandi? I don't know if I like that.
Is that racist?
Yeah.
It could be. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Because
Well, I really think that is like,
is Japan just everything white there?
It's like white and beige mix, but then I'm coming to find out that I don't want my house to look like fucking Target.
No.
You know, I just want it to be different. And I was like, it's
like Kim Kardashian's house?
No, but I feel like that's like subconsciously is what I was doing. Because I'm like, everything's.
You're a bougie girl, Jess.
But I'm not like that. Like, to be honest, like my Heights house was like kind of eclectic before. But you know what I'm saying? Like a green couch would be dope. I need some texture. I need some color in my life. And like, I need some help is what I'm saying. If any interior, I'm just like, that's not my job. I feel like I have an idea of what I like, but I just like have such a hard time putting it together. And
I get it.
I am too stressed to even put forth effort. But
I have like asylum white walls in my
yours
house.
Yours are pure white.
Pure white because I was just couldn't decide.
Asylum.
I don't mind it. Josh really likes it. He really likes the main living space color. I hate our bedroom being that white. I'm like, there's no.
But there's so much color and texture.
Yeah,
like,
I added color.
Yeah, the couch and everything. But I don't know if you're out there and like, you can give me a free consult. That would be great. I would love some fucking advice.
Your house is so cute. I love it.
It's nice. That's another thing too. I did definitely sob. I sobbed when everyone left, like I did in college. Just like everyone was here, was helping. It was everyone I loved, and then you're like alone, and it's like there's boxes everywhere, and everything's just like left for you to fucking figure out. And I was just overwhelmed and emotional, and so I was like, ugh. And then the next day, I was like, I hate it here, and I was like, it's just like empty.
I hate it here.
And I was like, this
Me
does
at
not.
Camp.
Yes, it was like it doesn't feel like home. It's starting to more and more, but I'm sure a lot of people feel that when they move into a new space, but it's just like really overwhelming. Like I was actually at that Cleveland Heights house for 8 years, and that is a very long time to be living in a space. And yeah, like people came and go. Like Britt left, came back, Joe moved in. So there was a lot of emotional connection to that home as well.
8 years.
Yeah, almost a fucking decade. That's a long time to live in one place. Yeah. Well, I guess not, but I guess like in your mid-20s, like in your 20s, like
that's a long time to be in one space. I think. Pickle, how's it going?
Potty break.
Okay, we can now take a potty break.
Yeah.
Okay, now to the meat.
The meat.
40 minminutes in.
Yeah, guys, we were gabbing. We had shit to talk about, shit to address, emotional stuff to get through, good stories to tell.
I think my legs are going numb.
Put them up here. Here, straddle me.
Let me get
in position.
I don't mind the way my body's changed. Like I'll say that. Like there's sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like stretch marks and whatever. I'm like I am a powerful goddess. I've grown a baby. I've grown her bones with my bones, her blood of my blood, her skin of my skin.
That sounds like a religious Bible verse. Bones in my bones, flesh in my flesh.
Elsie and Mommy Bible. But I could do without the real serious double chin.
I do not notice that on you because your skin is flawless. It's the Rocher skin for me.
Yeah.
Like Britt went to your baby shower and she's like, it is just so unfair. Because
but I've never felt like you guys have bad skin. I just don't notice.
Yeah.
Like, but I also wasn't there through your childhood, you know?
I mean, Britt was on Accutane, so.
That's a hard life.
Fighting for life. Literally, because suicide warning on those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Fighting for life on Accutane. Yeah. And she was depressed, and so she was like, this is quite the risk, but I'll take it.
It's serious.
Because acne is no joke. It's very depressing for people.
Yeah.
Tears, I know you can't relate. But,
right.
right.
Josh.
Oh, yeah.
Josh has a lot of anxiety about his skin, and I wouldn't even say he has acne.
His has been great for, I would say over a year now.
Yeah, he's been...
He's got a regimen down now.
Yeah.
Okay. Good self-care routine.
Yeah.
Skincare routine, I mean.
But still, he's down bad with the rosacea.
Yeah, well, the rosacea is here to stay. But a little green...
I've bought that for him before, but he never uses it.
Whatever.
Classic.
Men.
Okay. So we're doing, it's called Holsom, Holsom. And we're going to go through some different packs. All right.
Yes.
This is a good one. If you had 5 seconds to completely ruin a wedding, what would you do?
5 seconds?
Yeah. Like if you just had, you could probably take a couple more seconds than that. If you could had a minute or whatever to completely ruin a wedding, what would you do?
I object. Right in the middle of the ceremony.
That'll kill a vibe.
There you go. That's the first thing I'm thinking. I'm going obvious. Or like smooch the groom right in front of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Plant one on him. And slap him across the face and say, that was for last summer.
But you still as the wedding photographer.
That would be fucked. Okay, yeah, that's mine.
Okay.
Why did I picture myself as Kate Hudson doing it?
I don't know.
I don't have a clue. Rom-com.
Yeah.
Queen. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, what's yours?
Well, I just I keep on thinking of the times that I've almost ruined weddings, which usually involves me like stepping on the bride's dress as she's like walking down the aisle.
Yep. You're thinking as a photographer.
Yeah. But
I'm thinking like I was
as a guest.
But I want you to think as a photographer what you could do to ruin it. Fuck their photos up.
Yeah. But
I guess that wouldn't ruin the day. They would still have the nice day.
Probably just like say what I'm thinking in my head all the time out loud.
All day. Oh my God. Like what?
Just like people ask you stuff like, these lashes too long.
Yes.
These things, like, does this go? And you're just like, at that point, it's like, we're hyping you up. We're not, hey, it ain't the time.
Yeah.
You know, like, but sometimes I wish I could say what I think about people.
Yeah.
But I keep the peace.
Yeah.
I keep the peace.
Sometimes I wish I could like finger comb girls' hair out.
Yeah.
Like, who didn't brush that?
Oh, don't you hate the like when you want to ask like, hey, are you done with your hair and makeup? Is this
I think I
the
asked,
final look?
Yeah. Yep. But I have asked, like, are you finished? Well, just like I'm like, for timeline wise, I'm just trying to get a good guess on what. Yeah, no, that's funny. We haven't gone through wedding stuff in forever because obviously it's our slow season, but I don't miss it. That's another thing, though. I am like grateful to be in my off season during this time. To like have the time and like Rach and has been helping me out with edits and stuff, which has just been godsend.
Hey,
okay,
we're doing what we can.
Okay, that is specific. Okay, if you could instantly become an expert in something, what would it be and why?
Math.
Me too. Finances. Just smart.
Oh, yeah.
Just like investing.
Yeah.
Investing.
Okay. Yeah.
Good answer, right?
Yeah, you answered for me.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
I said math. You said finances. You're right.
Yeah, you're right. I wanted you to be really smart about it. Okay. That's a little silly. If you could have a piece of technology that doesn't exist, what would you have? Some sort of invention that would do something.
It doesn't exist, but I could have it.
Right. Like,
oof.
A toughie.
Yeah. I was thinking like an ultrasound machine at home.
Oh, wow. Well, they have those. I'm sure you could just get one.
No, but I don't think you can have them at home. I don't think they sell them to the public.
I'm sure if you had enough money, you could buy yourself one.
You think?
I'm sure. Medical equipment.
Yeah, probably. I guess that's already been invented. Not that I would. I haven't been like a Doppler girl. I said that like
you did say that to me. You were like, I'm not going to stress myself out with that.
Because like I've been debating like the owlet sock. I texted Jerry about it because I'm like, like the thing that you put on babies to see.
Oh, I know. I think it'd be worth a piece of mind. Or what is it? The Nanit?
There's different stuff, but it's like in the end. Well, Jerry said she's like, she had it for Ollie and didn't use it for Forrest. And that's kind of like what a lot of people is like.
It's a firstborn.
Yeah, it's a firstborn.
First time parent.
But she said a lot of times like he would just like kick it off or it would come off and then you get alerted and then you start panicking. you know, I mean, I'm choosing to just try to not feed my anxieties with every single bit of technology that I can.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get the at-home Doppler because I was like,
I'm just going to be obsessing over it.
Right. And what am I going to do?
Right.
Like there's nothing you can do.
Right.
It's like that's
and you'd rather be at a doctor telling you that who can walk you through it.
And I always say, like, being pregnant is the most vulnerable I've ever been in my entire life. You're just saying whatever happens is gonna happen, and it's gonna happen when it happens. You're like, great.
Yeah. It's a lot of universe trusting.
Yeah.
And that's hard for people who want control and
Ooh, but you know, a good invention if it could be.
Yeah.
Remember Smart House?
Yeah.
Before it went evil.
Yep.
But I just feel like it would be great to like the food aspect of that. Do you remember?
Very much restaurant.
Like,
boop,
yes.
Just popped up.
That would be great because
that would be great.
It's like, what am I craving?
Boop.
Boop.
There it is.
Yeah. So some Smart House stuff.
I would love that. That's a great one.
Yeah.
There's something about food. We'd be. Oh, okay. I'm asking you one more because that one was kind of silly.
Okay.
And because I answered the other one for you. But I just want to know your answer to this. If you could pick 3 people in your life that you know to be in your gang, who would you pick?
My gang?
Yeah,
like
they did quote unquote gang. And is that racist?
Like,
is that the name of this episode?
Like,
is it racist?
Is this racist? Is this whole episode racist?
Yeah. But like, okay, maybe it's like
a crime gang, like people that I'm going to commit crimes with.
Let's say that.
Not Joe.
Not he's the right side of the law at all times.
He's on such the right side of the law. He forgets what the law is because he's just like, could using a handicapped bathroom stall be illegal? Probably.
Yeah. And this wasn't an ick for me until like first year of marriage where I'm like, you are a rule follower.
Real goody two shoes.
Right. But he didn't come off that way when I first met him. But obviously.
Was he captain of the safety patrol?
Had to have been.
Had to have been.
You know, he's already.
If he wasn't, that was a pivotal moment in his life. And he's like, I've got to do better.
You know, he's already reached out to the neighbors about the neighborhood watch and who's on the committee. And he's like, there needs to be a stop sign over there.
Joe.
Gag me with a spoon, would you?
Ew.
What is that phrase? Oh, my God. Gag me with your dick, would you? Would you just relax a little bit? Gosh.
Deep throat me, please. God.
Oh. Okay, not Joe. Not Joe in the gang.
Commit crimes with
3 people that you know.
Josh is a given.
Yes.
That man is a criminal
through and through. And he's street smart. And he already has his stash for the apocalypse.
Okay.
He is a doomsday prepper, and we have to talk about it.
Do you want to know what the stash is at currently?
No. I mean, yes, I want to know.
It's about a 2-pound bag of rice.
He snapped it to us. You know that? He snapped it?
Yeah. It's about enough food for 1 week.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 2.
He
for
has
2
to start.
adults.
For his anxiety is better because he has a stash. Something to get him going.
Hey, whatever makes you sleep. He goes, 2 weeks could be the make or break, babe. 2 weeks could be the make or break.
I love a prepared man.
So yeah, Josh, because he's a little bit.
He is your partner.
Shifty.
He's shifty. He's
shifty. I just like, do I need anybody else in my gang?
That sounds very racial of you to say.
Does it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Do I need anybody else?
Yeah, you're like, I'm good on my own. Good on my own.
How is that racial?
It's Rachel.
Oh, that's
like,
very Rachel. You said that's racial. I was like, is it?
Going back to everything being racist.
Yeah.
No, very Rach of you.
Yeah. Just me and Josh.
Yeah, okay.
And Elsie.
Oh, yeah.
She'll be a little baby. I mean, we'll get her started in crime young.
Right.
She doesn't know the difference, which is the saddest part.
Right.
When you get kids involved in your seedy dealings, sad.
Reminds me of the Ozark.
But if we have to do what we have to do, we'll do it.
Right.
And then
I feel like Mads could be really useful.
And Eric too. Can I bring them all? We'll just it'll be the whole codependency conglomerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Madison will do what she has to do and she'll lie.
Yeah. I think she's She could be shifty as well.
And Eric is already probably a little bit crazy. He won't.
He'll do what's needed to survive.
He will. So that's the crew.
That's good.
Okay. I'll do one more hypothetical for you.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you could instantly become fluent in any language, what would it be and why?
Italian. Because I'm Italian, there's no real cool answer to that. But it's really pretty.
Yeah.
Like, I've been watching White Lotus. Beautiful.
I finished it.
Did you? I'm not quite yet finished. But it's fucking awesome. I don't know. And it's a little bit of Spanish in there too. Kind of similar to Spanish a bit. Because I took Spanish. But I think it'd be so dope to learn another language.
It would. But I would really like to instantly become, like, if this hypothetical could be real.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to do the work, and I could just wake up one day and be like,
Spanish?
Yeah, I would choose Spanish. Because it's the most practical.
Yeah. Very rich of you, not
Very
racial.
rich. Yeah, but it is the most practical.
It is, but I don't know, knowing Italian, like, I could get some cool jobs. I'm bilingual with Italian. Not many people know Italian.
Jess, you're bougie. Of course you're choosing Italian.
Yeah, and I would love to go to Italy and just, grazie, be in there with the Italians.
The gabagool.
The gabagool. Yeah, that's what I would choose.
Okay, cool. I get that.
Oh, sorry about that. My kit.
Okay. This pack is 36 questions to fall in love, which I think you and I could fall in love
easily.
And the first question is, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
This means anybody.
Yeah.
Dead or alive?
Anyone in the world.
So alive.
I would say alive.
A dinner guest. We ask these questions on the pod, and then I'm like 3 weeks later in the shower,
that would have been a good answer.
Because there's this one I have to get off my chest.
Okay.
And it's one that we asked if you could have any or not any talent or any skill or something. It was a question like that. But the answer, I think I said I would want to be able to sing.
Yeah.
And I take that back because I'd actually really love to dance. Dancing would be my answer.
But I feel like you're not far from being able to dance, are you?
But I mean, like, real professional, like real, like those hip hop videos, or like, those lyrical numbers on TikTok. I'm like, I would like that. So I just want to officially change my answer there.
From an episode that's probably a year old.
It is, yeah. But it keeps me up at night. Okay. Fuck, I don't know, because I know I'm thinking like celebrities that I would love to sit down and just crack up with.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
that's who it would be. Some comedian that I'm not thinking of clearly right now. And my head's going to Adam Sandler, but I definitely don't want Adam Sandler.
I bet he would be a good dinner guest, though.
I think
you wouldn't have to do anything fancy.
I need like a down to earth.
Yeah, you wouldn't need anything.
I don't have to worry about impressing, because I can get real. That could really be a problem for me. I'm going comedian. I'm going someone I don't need to impress. Answer to be determined.
Okay.
Give me 3 showers and I'll think of it.
Okay.
'Cause that's when I do my deep thinking.
I think I would choose Alana Glazer. Is that how you say her last name?
Who?
Alana from
from Broad City.
Yeah.
She's fucking awesome.
I think she would be. I just feel like she's a fascinating person.
Yeah. I mean, she is a great actress, a fucking activist.
Yes.
She just had a baby and is just like empowered by it.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm a big fan.
And her,
that would be cool.
Her partner, her husband, is just like a normal man.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
Right.
So it's like I think she would be a perfect little dinner guest.
Yeah. For sure.
Teach me your ways. What's your parenting philosophy? Like, just think.
Yes.
Tell me what you think,
so that I can learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would love that.
Yeah. Because then by the end of it, you'd be like fucking at a riot at the end of the night. You know, just protesting and shit.
Yeah. I wouldn't
smearing period blood all over your face and
burning
like,
bras.
Yeah. Go. I have a good answer for that. Just don't know yet.
It'll come to you.
Okay. Would you like to be famous? In what way?
I wouldn't mind being niche famous, right?
Yeah, that's why it asks in what way.
Okay, like if we had, like a podcasting, like people that know. Like the other day, I was spotted by my voice at Rockney's.
Yeah, what?
Because I've been on Jerry's podcast.
Which is crazy.
She's like, I recognize your voice. I was like, what? Crazy. But really, it's like because of Ladies and Tangents. And I feel like even Jerry and Sierra, like when I see like where like podcast fame leads you, does seem very overwhelming. Like in a way that it's not like, I think like realistically, there was a lot of like envy at first. Like with when Jerry and Sierra's like podcast just blew up, and as it should, they put in 100 times more effort than we did. Jerry was freaking grinding. And me and you were like, we're still wedding photographers. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to balance. I don't know what to do.
Still don't.
But it, being able to like take a step back and like just like root for them and also like, be a part of their live shows in the capacity that I have and like helping, like it's so cool to see like how there's like a group of people that know them pretty deeply or like feel like they know them deeply. And they have all these like inside jokes and that's very nice. But it also at the same breath, like, I don't know how well I would handle it. Like you don't know how you're going to handle it until you're doing it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pros and cons to having a fan base.
Yeah.
That like, because it's like the more fans you have, the more people you feel like you would disappoint.
Yes.
Or the more pressure you feel to perform or be a certain person. And I feel like you and I have felt that even on like a small scale. With
right.
Like,
I'm just saying like I could just feel like I can relate to that now, being like, we have thousands of listeners and I feel like I'm doing what I should by telling my close friends, but I'm not ready to tell thousands of people.
Right. Like,
but I also need them to know that I'm not a fake or fraud. I'm out here doing the Lord's work.
But like the difference of like 3,000 to 5,000 people to 100,000 people is crazy, mind blowing.
But it was also like shit like that, like fucking weird internet people being like, I would never stand for that, like you would get more of that, and that's fucking weird. And like,
I feel like
it has its pros and cons.
The best thing about podcasting is that, like, at least with our podcast, it's like our podcast is being ourselves. And same with like Jerry and Sierra, like their podcast is just them being them. So it's hard to get to a place of like burnout. Like I feel like people that play characters or like have to keep up this persona or like, if you're an actor or whatever, like to a certain extent, it's like my life is my content.
Yeah.
And so there's an ease that comes with that. But also it's like, how do you pump the brakes for other people to be like, you don't get access to all of my life.
Right. Like, so, where do you draw the line?
Like, truly, like content creators, like influencers, I do not idolize. I do not like fantasize about having that.
No, but I think they work very fucking hard to come up with new shit.
It would be emotionally draining.
Yes. To feel like you have to be relevant, have to be relatable. I think we go through that, and that's a weekly thing. You know what I mean? Of being like, okay, what do you want to talk about? What do you think our listeners are want? What can we offer?
Yeah.
That's a lot weekly. Imagine numerous times a day.
Right.
For what? I would love a breakdown of like fucking documentary on influencers and how much TikTok pays and what they have to do. And
it's not just like TikTok necessarily. It's the brand deals.
Right. Oh, right. That's right. Yeah.
That you do, that you sign individually. And that's that whole world. Advertising money is nuts.
Yeah. It's insane.
Would love to get a little bit of it.
Yeah. Would love to dabble a bit.
But it's also very overwhelming. So what about you?
Similar to, it has its pros and cons. I think like being famous for something I like podcasting, because I feel like that's the most realistic. Everything else would be like, I'm not a fucking movie star. I'm 31, So like that ship is fucking sailed, even though I dreamt of it. But necessarily though. Like I don't crave it or like want that my life in the spotlight.
Right.
But if it came through podcasting, like I would welcome it, I guess.
And we shall see.
To be determined.
If you live to 90, would you rather have the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life?
Mind. I can rot way into bed.
Who?
90. I ain't doing shit at 90 anyways. My body should be pretty run down.
Also, it's like, but if your body's healthy, why would your mind be decaying? I think there's a problem with this question now that I think about it.
But if you like pick one, it'd be mind.
But for the last 60 years, so in this hypothetical, I'm living to be 150.
Weird one.
Weird.
But I would pick. Also, I would kind of low-key want to be in like assisted living nursing home if I had the money. Just thinking about it with my grandpa and we're just talking about things, but I'm like, dude, there's like really nice facilities where like they can like go kick it at a bar. I'm like, it's college. If you pick a really nice one, I know these cost hella money.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's like college for old people. It's like living your life up in your remaining years.
Right.
Sign me the fuck up. I'm not going to be those people who's like, my family doesn't want me. Get rid of me.
Yeah.
I'm probably a pistol. I'm probably annoying as fuck. Put me so I can hook up with old dudes again, you know? I'm trying to live it up in my remaining years. I really do think about that. Okay. Oh, speaking of.
Yeah.
Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
A secret hunch.
I've never really thought about this.
It's like I don't think about it. Again, out of my control, out of my realm. I mean, I have a lot of fears about dying in a car accident.
I know. Are you human if you don't?
I don't know.
Did you have fears as a kid, like when your parents would be later when they said later than they said they'd be that they died in a car accident? I feel like it's because of movies we watched as kids. Like a lot of parents and people died. Susie Q. Save the Last Dance. Her mom's racing to get to her audition. Like that's the shit for me that was like, that will happen. Right. Guaranteed. And I think it was the movies we watched. Did you have that fear as a kid?
Yeah. A little bit.
Okay.
Like but now it's like even like when the weather's bad, it's like, Josh, you really have to go to work? You're gonna leave me here?
Well, also because you guys just got in a car accident.
I know.
So, yeah. I had to drive on Sunday to a shoot. I had a little elopement in Cuyahoga Valley. So it's like 30 minutes from here. Less than. It took me like 45 minutes. The roads were bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm comfortable driving. Yeah, this was stupid. I'm doing it for you, Katie. But yeah, I'm fine driving in general and also in like shitty weather. But I was like, it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
It was bad, man.
Bad idea.
But pictures turned out dope and it was one of the cutest days. So, okay, this might be deep.
Okay.
I know I ask you too, and if you don't want to answer, that's okay. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? We don't have to slander our parents, but
no. I talk about this a lot.
Also going into parenthood is an interesting question.
So my relationship with my dad is very weird and not necessarily complicated, because until my parents got divorced when I was 15, my dad was so hands off with us being raised. He very much didn't feel qualified. That's a huge thing with my dad. Like, oh, like you deserve better. Like I didn't know, you know. And so he just leaned on my mom so much. And then when they did get divorced and he realized like, oh, I'm going to have to put an effort in to get to know my kids, then he like flipped a switch. He got very into Native American spirituality. He like completely changed and was then emotionally available in a way that he had never been. But I think about who I was when I was younger, knowing that like I needed his love and attention in a way that he didn't feel qualified to give me at that time. And so I sought it out from like boys, like because I didn't have the man that I needed at home. And I've talked about this with my dad before, and you know, it's so weird to talk to about because it's like he's completely changed and he's completely like made it up to me. But it's still this like that wound was still there because of him not playing that role. And so I will be very aware and cognizant of like Josh's role in Elsie's life, making sure that like I don't ever make him feel incompetent or like that he can't care for our kids. Because, you know, we were raised in a patriarchal society. Like those things, even as a feminist, are ingrained in your brain. And so it will be easy for me to just take over care in a way that like might not be easy for him. But I want to be an encourager to him in those moments and not like someone that's like, hey, you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Because I want him to feel qualified and capable. And I want him to feel like a caregiver.
Yeah.
Not just like the dad.
Right. Equals.
What did your younger self assume about adult life that isn't actually true?
What did my younger self not know about adulthood? I spent my whole childhood wanting to be an adult. I have journals to prove it. I really was like, cannot wait till I get to this age. And I do love adulthood. I do.
Yeah.
But now I'm adulthood and I'm craving childhood.
Right.
I literally am looking at like videos of like Disney World and Universal and just, I think I'm really reminiscent right now at this time in my life too. So like stuff where I was in Disney World or doing stuff that felt like magic is something I'm like craving now. So it's just interesting that you're always just like wishing for another something different that you're in, like wishing for adulthood being a child and wishing for childhood being an adult. And but I don't know if there's something specific as a child, just thinking you'd have the perfect life, you know, and just thinking, and like, I love my life. I'm not saying, but it's not fucking perfect, but it's like,
I think I thought I'd have so much more control.
Yeah. I'd also thought I'd have 6 kids at this point. And like
6 kids by 31.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like who I was marrying. So like I had a lot of things planned out.
Yeah.
Dating my high school sweetheart. So like at that time, like my future seemed really clear. And the way it went is just a fucking movie. So
right.
Which is kind of cool. But I don't know if there's like a specific thing that like completely different, but always just like wishing for something different. It's weird, but I just want to be complacent. You know, just like, this is where you're at, love where you're at, be present where you're at, and
find contentment where you are. Yeah. Our younger selves didn't know shit.
We didn't know shit.
We did not know anything about anything.
And we're healing that younger self.
Yeah.
Right now. I mean, I am. I'm doing the fucking work. And the work is just kind of around me and happening. So it's kind of nice.
It's unfolding.
It is. It really is.
It's good to have content when you're in therapy.
Dude, my therapist is like, wow. Like, she's like, you just kind of saved us a year of going through that. I'm like, yeah, I know. I heard what I needed to hear, like for 18 years. So it's been cool, but maybe not under the circumstances, but still it's clarifying for sure.
Yeah. Well, Jess, it's wonderful to have you back.
I'm happy to be back. This was it felt really good. It felt like being back, felt like us. I don't know. It felt very good. Very good. Yeah, who knows? We have our anniversary episode coming. And then Rachel will be on maternity leave. So I'm bringing Joe back on.
We got that pre-recorded episode with Meredith.
And I'm going to try to bring Liz on. I can even try to get my whole friend group on here, which would be fucking crazy. Great stories. But yeah, we got some stuff lined up while Rach is out, and we're going to keep you posted. We're going to keep you posted.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling.
Keep
That's
it
all we want.
rolling. All right, you guys. Love you. Thank you for listening. This is For Better and Worse Podcast. I'm Jess.
I'm Rach.
And we're out of here.